Wow, another second half masterclass from the British and Irish Lions, putting back-to-back 50 points on Australian Super Rugby teams. That is also back-to-back games where they haven't conceded any points in the second half. Definitely showing the quality of the squad as a whole, subs coming on at the right time of the game, proving the difference. Before we get into it, let me know in the comments what you guys thought of the game. Who was your man of the match? Who played well? Who didn't? What changes would you like to see going into the Waratahs game this weekend? What did you enjoy about this game? Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get into it. We'll talk about the Reds quickly first. Home team first. Come out like a house on fire. Exactly the same as Western Force last weekend. And I said it in the preview for the whole tour that all the teams that come up against the British and Irish Lions are going to come out with extra venom, extra fire, extra eagerness, willingness, intensity to get involved, to get stuck into these British and Irish Lions players. But as we see, as the game unfolds, that intensity, that energy, that hype then slowly starts to wear off because you come up against, it's the best of the Northern Hemisphere. Obviously, bar France, it's the best of the best. And this is the best of the best starting and then the best of the best coming off the bench as well to ice out the games in the last 30 to 20 minutes. And that's been showing these last two games, the time where British and Irish Lions just shut the gates, put the nail in the coffin. So they kind of absorb the pressure in the first half, and then it comes to that later back end of the second half, or even at the start of the second half, where fatigue can start to settle in. They bring on their subs and they just go to a whole new level. But I did think Reds were good. They go 14 phases to score their first try. It all started from the first scrum that they got the penalty from on their own 5-meter line. From there, they kicked a touch, rolled on, good interplay between backs and forwards, good, hard, direct, straight running, getting little half gaps, Hunter Paisami busting through a couple times. And that interplay, crisp play between backs and forwards, the little block plays, quick ruck speed as well, catching Lions defense a bit on the back foot and getting over the ad line. And like I said, just crisp at ruck time. And they get that early try. And like I said, they're coming in, their tackles, the way they're carrying the ball, coming in with a lot of venom. Reds do, and they're getting a lot of dominance at scrum time early on as well. You've got an all-international front row. You've got Aiden Ross, Jeffrey Tulmonga-Allen. They both played for the All Blacks once. And then you got Matty Fessler, who's played for the Wallabies. So that was a nice little battle that they had up front there. And then what Reds were doing really well in the first half, every time they got an opportunity within the British and Irish Lions 22, they scored and they converted into points. But that was all she wrote. It was just those two tries in the first half, all that energy, all that intensity in the first half, and then just couldn't hold on in the second half. Lots of turnover ball. Reds were just giving the ball away. Not necessarily just giving it away, forced errors, because British and Irish Lions defense, although not the best in the first half, in the back end of the first half and then mainly the second half, their defense was ruthless, and how they transitioned into attack off the back of that, outstanding. So jumping over to the Lions, a bit shell-shocked early on. Reds start with massive fire. Like I said, all the teams that are going to come up against this British and Irish Lions are going to come out with massive intensity, massive energy. But can they hold that up? Can they keep that going throughout the game or throughout the 80 minutes? Because the British and Irish Lions have now showed 2 weeks in a row they can, and they probably get better the longer the game goes because of the quality they're bringing off the bench. So they get their first opportunity denied. There was a maul where Bundy Aki was at the back of the maul, got held up. That is a fine. I feel like that's a fine. If a back joins the maul and gets the ball at the back and you don't score, that has to be a fine. Forwards, I hope the forwards are going to fine him there, because that's not good enough. Love how Finn Russell steps up when they do that transition from defense into attack. always said whenever the ball gets turned over or whenever there's a line break, you want your ball players or your option takers to be the first guys to get their hands on the ball. There's no point getting a turnover ball. You throw the ball out and the first guy who gets it is a prop or a lock or someone that's usually not that or not the best or not ideal to take options or make decisions with where the ball's going to go. But how Finn Russell steps up and he's always the first one there to be that guy that makes the decisions, and he's 9 out of 10 times making the right one. And he did really well in this game here. Always got 3 or 4 options. He's always flat up at the line. And that's how you want Finn Russell playing. Flat at the line with lots of options. And he's going to pick the right one 9 out of 10 times. And then they finally do get their first try. Too much possession, too much pressure on the Reds line. They get the try for Freeman to go over in the corner. What I loved about this was the catch and pass from Elliot Daly. That is understated. It's expected at that level, absolutely. Catch and pass. And everyone thinks, it's just a catch and pass. You're running full speed like that. Catch out in front. He hasn't had time to juggle it around. It's catch, boom, straight into a pass. A left to right pass, which is usually everyone's weaker side to pass. That was just beautiful. And that's the little basic skills that every coach, it's coach killers when they don't nail it, and it's beautiful when you nail it. And when you nail it like this, you get a try in at the corner. So that was fantastic. Little skills like that I pick up on and most coaches pick up on. It's beautiful, beautiful to watch when a player nails it like that. Both teams, I'd say, pretty clinical in the first half. Obviously, Lions running away with it in the second half. I think Lions could have been a bit more clinical to start off with. Both games now, Western Force and Reds, they've started kind of slow. But again, I also think that's more credit to the opposition that come out bloody guns blazing. We're going to see that going forward. We're going to see it in the Waratahs game on the weekend. We'll see it in the other games, Brumbies, Oz and New Zealand Invitational. Even with the Wallabies, they're going to come out guns blazing, but it's can you keep that going? Because what we've seen or what I've noticed in these games, the British and Irish Lions get better with time. And they're going to gel, more gel together, more understand each other's timing, the depth, running at holes or running where to be, or guys knowing who's going to make a half line break or who's going to run which angle. The more time spent together, the better they're going to get at that for sure. Like I said, look a lot better with ball in hand. Yes, still a couple of errors, a couple of balls thrown not where they're supposed to go, but still looking a lot better than 2 weeks ago, than last week even. And like I said, the more they have time together, the better it'll get. Their transition for me still from defense to attack, unreal. They just shift that ball. They know that if they get a turnover one side, they shift it to the other side, and they're getting their key players with their hands on the ball as soon as those turnovers happen. I love that they just want to play as well. They have the quick taps, the little moves off quick taps. They don't want to go for penalties. They go to touch. They back their line out. They back their maul, or they just back themselves to score tries. And you do love to see that. So while they did score 2 tries out on the wing, so Freeman scored his one on the right, then Duan van der Merwe scored his one on the left. This was still in the first half. I still think they needed to go a bit more direct, a bit more direct. He's got Bundy Aki, you've got Hugh Jones. These guys can run straight, hard lines back at the ball. The best in the world. I still think use that better. When they did use that, they come out in the second half, come out absolutely firing. Bundy Aki straight from the get-go, over the ad line, front foot ball, quick ruck speed. You've got someone like Gibson Park who's the best in the world at the back of the ruck with regards to option taking, decision making, all of that. Has a little snipe, gets a half break, offload, and Itoje scores right off the bat. And that's nail in the coffin. Reds blown out. British and Irish Lions are here, and they just go from there. I thought Jack Morgan was an absolute menace, a beast. Got man of the match. He was fantastic. He hits that many rucks defensively and on attack, secures the ball so well, steals the ball so well, slows it down if he doesn't steal it. That means his defense gets time to set and the opposition's attack slows down in momentum. Really good like that. And just a tough bastard, man. He's all over the place, everywhere he goes. Really, really good, and definitely putting his hand up to start in the Wallabies, against the Wallabies tests for sure. Did also top off his game with a lovely try. That running back at the ball, and Mitchell hitting that third, fourth player. So hard to defend. You've got no clue who's going to get the ball, especially when they angle back like that. Beautiful, beautiful try there. And they just, like I said, just need a bit of time together. When the subs came on as well, make a massive difference. When opposition gets a bit fatigued, you bring in quality international subs on, and these guys just go to a new level. Alex Mitchell, Finn Smith, that combo coming on was great. Mitchell really quick around the rucks, and then Finn Smith is just cool, calm, and collected at the back there. Kicks really well, decision-making good as well. And just both of their option taking, really, really good. Saw Ben Earl come on for Bundy Aki at centre. Maybe something to look at going forward. Who knows? Very similar. Like Ben Earl could do a job for you at centre, for sure. Not too sure about his distribution, but he can get over that vantage line for you, for sure. And then I thought Maro Itoje was immense. Calm in his captain duties, but just a beast in everything else, man. Gets around the park, gets stuck into the physical stuff. For a big guy, super mobile, big engine, so keeps going, full 80 minutes. And then when he talks to the ref, it looks like he hasn't done anything. He's got a little bit of sweat, but he's cool, he's calm. Yep, sir, no worries, sir. Goes on. Really, really good. Proper captain's knock, and he was probably second man of the match behind Jack Morgan. Hugh Jones, really good as well. Topped it off with a lovely intercept try there for 50 metres. He's got some wheels on him, man. That was a standing start and just run away from everyone. Really good there as well. Tommy Freeman, 2 tries scored. And that's it. Another 50 points on an Australian Super Rugby team for the British and Irish Lions. Wow, they're getting better. They're getting better with age. They're aging like a red wine at the minute, but it's a red wine on steroids, if that even makes sense. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought of the game. Like I said, who played well, who didn't? What changes would you like to see for the Waratahs game? Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.